Hello friends, this is our 9th class on feminism, and today as you can see 3 issues. Here you can see 3 paper clippings. This is 13th June Hindu. This is today 16th magazine section Hindu, and this is 15th June. That means from 13th to 16th. 13, 15, 16. There are 3 issues. This one deals with, you can see, can you read this one? Surrogacy bill pits progressives against feminists in US. Surrogacy bill pits progressives against feminists in US. Surrogacy. That's the issue of surrogacy. So very recent. So 1984 maybe surrogacy in US in 1984. Yes. And then you have got you have another famous lady here. That is you have a can you read this? Minnie White, representing the science world, the problems women face in the world of science, or what happens. There we have got fierce, according to, this is an interview, you can read it. Fiercely male-dominated world of space science, she says. The world of space science is fiercely, that is the word, you can read the whole interview, that will be very interesting for you. Fiercely dominated world of space science. Fiercely, who dominates? Male domination. So that's another issue, today's issues. And the third one, of course, we feel sad because even in Switzerland, even today, there is no equal pay. No equal work and equal pay has not been so far implemented, and as a result of that, you can see written here, women across Switzerland take to the streets for equal pay. That's very interesting. Yeah. Now what happens is that the debate over surrogacy rights, so to say, is relatively new. It's a new topic, you can say. In fact, there's recently a proposal to legalize surrogacy in New York was made. Legalize surrogacy. Now, what happened is that it was presented. Those who sponsored this idea of surrogacy, they thought that it is a very progressive idea, very progressive, and it is a remedy to the burdens of the gay and the infertile couples, and also it is against the stigma, women who can't bear children, women who cannot, so to say, because many reasons, it can be many reasons, give birth to a child, that is may not be infertile, but for some other reasons, they thought that the people who introduced this legal measure in the Senate, so in the Assembly, Senate they passed, the Assembly, they thought that it would be a cure for the stigma. Understand? So 3 things. Those who sponsored this, they thought it is a very progressive ideal. It is taking away a burden from gay couples and infertile couples, and also the taking away the stigma. That is, you find in society we find that there are some persons women who cannot we are unable to give birth to a child, they are stigmatized. So they thought that a bad mark or something like that. So the people who introduced this a legal measure, legislation, they thought that they are doing something wonderful, something wonderful as far as feminism and feminist activity and thought are concerned. But what happened is, interestingly, objections came from women themselves. Female lawmakers in New York, they were up in arms against this. Up in arms. You can read that story, news story. This is the news story. There you can see the whole thing, but I thought that I will make these three topics as topics for our today's lecture. Because today, from 13th to 16th. So, Gloria Steinem, that's her name, Gloria Steinem. Gloria Steinem. Sorry. Now, what did she say? Gloria Steinem, she said, it is coercive to poor women. Women's bodies then will become commodities. That's what she said. She is a women's rights scholar, fighting for women's rights. But she says that women's bodies will be turned into commodities. That cannot be done. Especially poor women will be attracted. If you know the surrogacy rates in US dollars, 20,000 to 200,000. So 20,000 to 200,000 a woman can get by this agreement, so it's the surrogacy agreement. That is, even then the Senate passed this legislation, but the Assembly said no. In the Assembly said no. Another woman, Deborah Glick, she said, she's also an activist and a member of the Assembly also. She said surrogacy right is not the only mark of equality. Surrogacy right is not the only mark of equality. What does that mean? We don't support it. Listen, we don't support it. Glick said, what did Glick say, He said, it's pregnancy for a fee, she said. And I find that commodification of women troubling. Said, I am against this because you are paying something for pregnancy. And not only that, what is troubling me is commodification of women. Understand? And a senator, Brad Hoylman, he is openly gay. He says, I am gay. And what happened to him? He is the sponsor of this bill. He says, it shows the importance of LGBTQ community to the state of New York. LGBTQ, I suppose that LGBTQ community. How we take care of them, our consideration for them, he says. And not only that, he said, it is the most progressive. It is progressive to the community and also it is progressive to human rights. The most progressive. It shows that we are progressive in thinking about human rights as well as progressive in thinking about the problems of the community, this particular community, LGBTQ. So he said, but even then, there is no scope. There is absolutely no scope. It all began with a case, Baby M case. And that is Elizabeth and William Stern, a couple. They did not have children. So when Mary Beth Whitehead is given this news story, so that's why I am not writing it. You can go read that. You can go through that. Her name is okay. In that Mary Beth Whitehead. Mary Beth Whitehead, that's the name of the woman. Whitehead. 1984. She got into an agreement with this couple, infertile couple. The name of the couple is Elizabeth and William Stern. The Sterns. Elizabeth and William Stern. So the agreement was made and she gave birth to a baby girl. She said, no, I will not give this girl to you. The persons who got into agreement with her for surrogacy. Because I used my egg. So biologically, the child belongs to me. So there was a legal battle, but of course, the judgment was in favor of the Sterns. So that is about that story. Actually what happened. Now what happened is, many states banned this. And afterwards they reversed this. For example, in Washington state and in New Jersey, they have now legalized this. Many states oppose in US. States means in US. Europe, there is no scope. But certain conditions they allow. In India, we were getting about $400 million by way of fertility tourism. There's a thing called fertility tourism. But last year India also banned it. But some countries, of course, under certain conditions, they put some conditions. And some others, they ignore. That way surrogacy is going. But what I am trying to tell you is this, that if you consider this as a right, as a progressive step, that depends, question mark. Because already we have seen how in America itself there is hue and cry raised against this surrogacy. Now let's think in this way. That's what I have given the title, Feminist Thought and Activities. So this is also part of feminist thought and activities, how women think of these things. Right? Some people get benefit out of it. For example, gay couples, they get. LGBTQ, same thing, they get. Infertile couples, they get. They get some, some kind of relief. And also some women get relief from the stigma. A stigma that is imposed upon them by the social custom or culture. So that's activity and thought, you can think about it. I don't want to make any judgment about this thing. What I am trying to tell you is this only. Such things are going on around the world. Okay. Globally, they are opposite. Globally, there's no scope. So, but between 1999 and 2014, 18,400 babies were born through gestational surrogacy. 18,400, 18400. Between 1999 and 2004. 18,400. 400 children. Understand? 18,400 children were born. So this is a fact. So what happens is that in many states they ignore it. They don't give much importance to this because it's a personal problem. Understand? Then another, as I have already shown you, that is 15th June. The report is on 15th June, but the incident happened on 14th June. You can see, if you cannot see, I will read out. Women across Switzerland take to the streets for equal pay. Yes. There are 20% less they get. Men and women doing the same job, but women get 20% less. in Switzerland, in that wealthy alpine nation. Now again you can see, and if equally qualified, 8% less. Understand? Suppose you have equal qualification, then you get it 8%. So, 14th June, the streets, women in large numbers poured into the streets and cities of Switzerland, shouting, "We want equal pay." 30 years ago, already there was some such move by a woman called Ruth Dreyfus. Already. So it is 30 years old. The struggle for equal pay is 30 years old. Even now, not at exam. Equal qualification, no, maybe I have already told you. So he said, the first woman president of Switzerland, Ada, that is her name, Damada. You know what did she say? She said that we are here to make noise. She said, because if we are not seen, we don't exist. We are here to make noise. Because if you are not seen, we don't exist. So she is the socialist MP now. She is the socialist MP. So now you can see this. There are all, as I told you already, the wage gap exists even in such wealthy countries. See that? But then, what a sad situation is that. The right, surrogacy right is of course that you leave to the personal, you can't compel anybody to do that. But equal pay for equal work, that is actually injustice, no doubt about that. We can pass a judgment on that, not on the first one, isn't it? Yeah, so that is it. And the third point is, this lady, you can see the whole interview is given there in the first page. And you can see that if you have got it in the library, definitely you should get hold of it and read it. And there she is complaining about that fierce male supremacy in the space science. Space science, fierce. That means the so-called discrimination, it continues even now. It continues even now. In the in Switzerland, women carried banners. They said, eliminate patriarchy. So what does that mean? Patriarchy is still there. That discourse is still there. You can deconstruct it by applying Derrida's method, but that will be only in the realm of your imagination. Because patriarchy, male domination, and that comes out in different ways. Either it is blocking the rights of women, or it is not paying equal to men for the equal work, equal pay. Or it is in certain areas like space science. Understand that? So that is still there. Today is 16th June 2019, and we have seen the whole thing started 1942, isn't it? No. So now that is when was the Mary Wollstonecraft? I already made one mistake, so I don't know. 1792. Yeah. Isn't it? 1792. Already I made a mistake in the fourth lecture in the series. So I think it is 1792. Yes. If not, please forgive me. Yes. So you got the point. So 1792 onwards, women are fighting for equal pay, against all kinds of discrimination, against patriarchal discourse, and also for their reproductive rights. For example, when you think of surrogacy, it's a reproductive right. See that anyhow, but we don't want to make a judgment on that because it's a very emotional issue. Therefore, we don't want to make a judgment. But I have some more things to tell you about feminism that I will continue in the next classes. You'll see tomorrow or in the we can see that maybe in the next week or so. So a few more classes are there. But in between, I thought of presenting this before you because this is so from 13th June to 16th June. So these things happen. So I think that you will be interested in going through the newspaper reports and make your own conclusions and so on. Till we meet again, bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy your life. I earnestly request you to get hold of the Hindu dated 13th, then 15th and 16th. This is magazine section. Magazine section. Understand? If you are interested in this feminist activity and thoughts and their activities, and also feminism as a philosophy, and also an activity, I think that you cannot, it is irresistible for you. You will be interested in this. You will be reading this, hoping this. Bye. Have a nice day.